Hi, everyone. Hi, Diane. You get the crown number one. I'm still not sure how this works, but yes, you have the crown. Thank you for being here. We'll see if any more people come in and what happens with this crown thing. There's a button I can push here. It says top fans. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what. Well, it just not. It tells me that you're the number one fan. Okay. Well, how do I get back then? All right, there. I got it. Yeah, you have to be number one. You're the only one here so far. Yes, I had a slow week up until Friday, and then all of a sudden, I was getting all excited. I had a bunch of sales. Well, not a bunch, but when you've been having hardly any, doesn't take much to make a bunch. So the sales were okay, only because of Friday. But we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, today's weather isn't bad at all. It's in the 80s, but I don't think the humidity is bad out there. Because I was out for a while. I got another bird bath during that prime days or whatever it is. And this had been one I had been looking at. It's not, it looks like it's metal, but it's not really metal. It's real light. You have to weight it down. But it's nice and deep where I can put the solar fountain in. And it came. It had about $10 off during that week. So I bought it. And yeah. So I was out there for quite a while getting that level and filling it and then finding some rocks to put in it. I put the fountain in it. And when I first put it out there, it was in the bright sunshine, right? It took me a while to get the everything set up and got it level. And then by the time I took the fountain out there, because it's solar, I put it in there and it was just spritzing water, which means it's not in full sun. It was it was bright. So it was like going sprit. But I had to wait till the sun came around more, and then it worked really well. Yeah. Okay, Donna, you got a crown number 2. You were slow too, Diane. Yeah. Oh, you were out walking the dogs between thunderstorms. We aren't supposed to get any rain today, I don't think. We got a tiny bit yesterday, not much. And yeah. But I don't know if you saw my video I put on about the chickens during the hot weather. I should have never. It would have been okay if I wouldn't have shown myself. I was so upset at the end when I was editing it because I went on at the end talking about the shed, and I just looked so horrendous that, yeah, I may not ever appear in an outdoor video again. It's the lighting, it's partially the lighting out in the bright sun and everything. Here, it's sort of the same every week. I'm in the same place, but outside you never know. And the camera on the GoPro, the little screen that's facing you that you're looking at is so small I can't really see too well. But one thing that really bothers me, more so after I saw it on that video, you all know I have one fake eye, which is sometimes I forget, which is this one, which is completely different than this eye. This eye, my real eye, is hooded. It has a hooded eyelid. It didn't used to, but it does now. I've gotten older. And there's a surgery for that, but I'm not going to bother doing that. My sister had that surgery a long time ago when we were younger. She had both of her eyes were hooded, and she had the surgery to correct it. But what I saw online, of course, on Amazon, you can buy this tape. It's strips of this tape. It's 4 hooded eyes, and you somehow put it in that slit there, and it's supposed to work really well. So after seeing that video, I just may try that. It's not very expensive. Yeah. You like the chicken video? It was very amateurish, and it seems that I am getting worse at making videos instead of better. I know as far as getting views and everything, I'm not getting more views, I'm getting less. I haven't really made any big advance in my subscribers. I have gotten more, but not, not a lot more. I like to do videos. I like to edit, actually. It's sort of, I don't know, editing, it's hard to describe. Editing can be kind of artsy. You can put music in, you can put different things in. You're like making a movie, even though it's just, a dumb little thing. But no, I don't think I don't feel that. I think I don't know. I don't go back. The only time I listen to my video is right after I make it and it goes on to make sure it's gone online okay and other people can see it. That's the only time I watch it. I was very discouraged with this one. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch some of my older videos and see. I don't know. But if I just keep myself out of the video, I may be more, better with it. Or I won't hate it as much as far as seeing it. I don't mind doing it. But I had the same problem again getting it onto YouTube. Well, not getting it onto YouTube, getting it onto my computer, into iMovie from my GoPro camera. It didn't go on easy like it did that very first time. It was hard the second time. It finally went on, and I don't even know what I did. So that didn't help this time. So I had to fuss around with it again this time, and all of a sudden it went on. So I still don't know what I've done. I don't know. I'm working off of the card reader. There's another way you can do it. You can just hook it up, with the wire. That's how I used to do it. It's no easier. And I think it takes a little longer with the wire, actually. You'd think it'd take less, but it doesn't. So I may just try the wire this next time and see if it's any better. Yeah. But this next week, I do want to do that shed video because I'm anxious to see what's in there too. I hope there's no animals living in there. I mean, I don't want something running out at me, scaring me to death. Uh, but if there was anything like a skunk, I'd be smelling it. Even though they don't spray, you can still smell when there's a skunk around. It was interesting. I learned a lot. I hope you get to do the shed opening video. Yeah, that's what I plan to do next. And as far as the chicken video, after I got done doing it, there was at least 4 things that I forgot to mention about keeping your girls cool in the summer when it's really hot. So I may have to add that on to the shed video. Yeah, I don't know. I know in the shed there's one of those chairs that lean back, makes your feet go up. I'd like to have that out. I know there's a table and chairs around antique metal, they're called ice cream sets. That's in there. But my deck, I could put it on my deck, except I don't put anything on my deck except in the corner where I have my chair. Because at night, I don't let the dog run free at night. I'm just afraid, I don't know what I'm afraid of. But I put her on a long, long rope. Well, if there's anything on the deck, she's going to get all wrapped around, whatever's on the deck, and she'll just pull it off the deck. I can't have her doing that. So, yeah. Open the shed when my helper is there. Oh, that's a good idea, Ruby. I could do that. However, this next coming Wednesday, I have to go shopping. There's a couple, I have to go to Aldi and I have to go to Tractor Supply if I don't go before that, because I'm like out of birdseed. Yeah. Riri, now Riri is number 2 and Donna is number 3. See, I still don't get how this works. 1, 2, and 3. I think I don't understand. I have to go back and read that again. Did anybody see anything about, this is talking about your reselling and taxes. Did anybody, I saw a quick video from Rockstar Flipper, who does this kind of videos when any news comes, he has a video about it. And it was something that, it was either from the tax people that on reselling, it's going to go back up to, you won't get what is it, a W-2, no, not a W-2, whatever that thing is that you get when you're a reseller, the extra one. It used to be $20,000. You had to sell $20,000 worth or have, it was a lot of things sold. they're going back to that, which would be good. So I don't know if anybody heard that or not. Because they had lowered it way down to like $6,000 and everybody was getting these, eBay would have to send you this form and they'd also send it to the government and also any of the reselling places, I guess. It doesn't really matter. You're supposed to pay taxes on whatever you sell, no matter if it's, $20. Yeah, I don't know if Samantha would be into doing, helping with me with a video or not. My handyman is supposedly coming this next week if the weather cooperates because I got the stain for the deck and he's watching the weather. The deck has to be dry and then he has to have a dry day to do it and maybe a dry next day. So it depends on the weather when he's going to be able to do this and get the deck stained and, put a coating on it to preserve it. So, yeah, that'll, I wonder how long you have to stay off the deck when he's painting it. If it dry, if you can walk on it within a few hours or if it has to set for a day, that's going to be a problem because that's the door we go in and out of all the time. What else was I going to talk about here besides my sales that I have to get to here? Besides the sales I'm going to show you, I also made one more sale today, which I'm not going to show you because that'll go on to next week's. But I did sell a little athleta dress. It's just a little dress with a racer back, open back on it today. But yeah, Poshmark has been really, really slow. Here's my numbers. I have made 9 eBay sales this week. I mean, that's a very small amount actually, but it's better than I have been doing. And only 4 Poshmark sales. So that comes out to 13. I don't like things to come out to 13, but it does. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 13. But let me share my screen and I'll show you what I did sell. And then we'll come back and talk some more. I have to tell you about my little mouse. So I'll do that when I come back. Let me share my screen. Here's my little graph. They had to lower this bar here to 100 or increase it to 100 only because it's one day of sales of Friday. That big tall one is Friday. See, there was 3 0 days, and the rest were just very small amounts. So yeah, not good, except for that one day. If I had those Friday days all the way across, I would possibly have a good week. But let's go see what I sold on eBay. I sold a pair of Nicholas golf shorts, men's size 40, in a gray and white window pane check, new without tags. I'm sure this is one of the golf shorts that came in Bryland Farms. She sent me a whole lot of men's golf shorts. It was like, I don't know, over a year and a half ago or so. And I keep selling them, selling them, selling them. So I don't know how many I have left, but they've sold really well for me. These sold for $14.44, and my cost was $0. The next thing is by Land's End. It's a knit pair of high-rise capris in a size medium. They're I said navy. They're sort of a lighter navy. They're not real dark. And they're pull-on, comfy, very comfy pants. I got a note back that she really likes them. And they went for a best offer of $15.50. Next thing is this little top. That is all embroidery around the neck. Little knit top by Philosophy. It was tunic, almost tunic length, which I put. It's a size 1X, a plus size or bigger size. Navy with embroidery, pull over, short sleeve, very soft. So this went for a best offer, $15. Next thing is this pair of yoga pull-on stretch capri pants, kind of flared, and they're by the brand, it looks like Bayleaf, Bayleaf, Bayleaf. I don't know how you pronounce that. They sold for $15.29. Then I sold this Caribbean Joe women's size 1X pullover top. I think this was in a box from Bumblebee. I think. I can be wrong. Has a big bright paisley print. Very beachy, tropical type looking. Sold for $14.44. I think this was a sale price, the $14.44. Excuse me. The next thing was this pair of Torrid jeans. This pair, it's a size 10R. This pair and the very next pair you'll see, Samantha, my helper girl, just gave these to me. She wears Torrid jeans and she's losing weight, and she had given me all her bigger sizes, and she brought these to me. I don't know, just a couple weeks ago, and I put them on, and they sold for $21.24. This one. Right after I packed these up and put them in the bin, I got another sale. This very same, only this is a dark wash, Torrid Bombshell Flare Super Soft Jeans in a 10R. And I thought, oh no, this girl is probably just saw these and she wants me to bundle them together. But it wasn't. It wasn't the same person. In fact, it wasn't even the same state. It was two different people. They ordered the same type of thing right after each other. That was kind of strange. They sold for the same price, $21.24. So that was good. And I think those sold on, no, that was a Wednesday, was sold on. So they weren't part of the Friday thing. Alfred Dunner. Wait, maybe they were. I was looking in Poshmark. Sorry, those aren't the right jeans. Okay, I sold this Alfred Dunner sweatshirt. This came in this new box that I got, that I just opened up a few weeks ago. It's a sweatshirt plus size in a size 3X geometric pattern, and it had some embroidery on it and some little buttons sewn on it. This sold for $16.14. That was a sale price that was on there. It's a sweatshirt with a collar. And then I sold, these are all part of the last four, including this one, was part of that Friday sales because they were all eBay sales. So this I've had forever. You can't really tell here, but this is a double picture. The line, you can sort of see at the shoulder here. The line goes down there, the front and the back. Okay. I don't even know how I did that. Must be something you can do on the computer. Unknown brand. It's a knit top, women's medium. The back has these buttons and then the lace there at the bottom, but the front is like just plain. Sold for $11.89, and I've had these. I've had this top 2 or 3 years. I mean, this is back when I used to photograph things upstairs, so a long time ago. So that's what I sold, the 9 things I sold on eBay. Now going to Poshmark, I sold a pair of Banana Republic casual pants. These are men's, size 32, flat front and back flap pockets. Sold for $20 on Poshmark. And I sold a pair of Page jeans. I've had these forever too. Remember when Page jeans were a big thing and they sold for a lot of money? I've had these for years. Yeah, they're a low rise though. A little bit distressed. About size 30 boot cut, and they finally sold for $16 on Poshmark. This picture was taken upstairs too. I've had these a long time. And I sold a pair of leather espadrille platform shoes with this toe loop here. This has got to be uncomfortable. That's all I can say. It also has an ankle strap that wraps around your ankle. They're probably cute on, but they're that kind of a platform sole, doesn't bend at all. You know, I can't imagine walking in these. Your foot doesn't bend. You have to walk flat footed all the time, I guess. I don't know. They're only in a little size 6, so maybe a little person. Got $24 for these. And then a nice pair of American Eagle wide crop lounge pants, a paper bag waist, and a tie. And these are in a black and white stripe. And these sold for $15. They had pockets also. These were a cute pair of pants. And that is what I sold. So let me show you the numbers on eBay from the 6th to the 12th, this past week. Total sales, this is gross sales, $224.37. Selling costs, $86.01. And my net sales were $125.60. Average sale price, $24.93. So that's eBay. I'll come back here and tell you what Poshmark does. Okay, I wrote down here what Poshmark. On Poshmark, there was gross sales of $75. I netted $57.68. Average selling price on Poshmark was $18.75. So again, Poshmark has beat eBay out on the average selling prices. So even though it seems like lower prices, they're going by not what I make. They're not the net sales. It goes by the gross sale that the customer pays. Kitty, what do you want? What? It's not near time for you to eat. It isn't. It isn't. Undercover yard sale. Hi. And Jeff's here too. You're late to the party. Uh, I talked to my son. Cindy's here too, watching on her TV. Uh, I talked to my son yesterday, and he was exhausted from all week working in the heat. And then yesterday, all week, he has to work out in the heat too. Just like my daughter's factory is not air conditioned. But then, of course, on Saturday, he plays at a golf course where he's at all the time. He's a member of Ridgewood Golf Course in Parma, Ohio. He's there all the time. Well, it was called Ridgewood Days. It's a big thing every year that they have. And he was at that all day yesterday. So when I talked to him, he was actually going to bed like 8 in the evening because he was exhausted. But he said today, him and his wife, I'm not sure if my grandson's going or not, but they've been going to the movies, like the great big screen movies. Last week, I think they saw the new Jurassic Park. And this week, they're going to see Superman. So I guess it's like a date night. I don't know. But they were going at 4:00, the 4:00 movie. Yeah. I'll have to call my daughter later and see how her week was, if it was any better. Because I don't think this week was quite as hot as the week before. I don't know. I wasn't out in it much. So today wasn't bad. But it is just in the 80s, and I think the humidity has come down. So this is like nice for the summer. My tomato plant out there that I showed you in the garden video, the tall one, it's over 6 feet tall now. I hope it gives me some tomatoes. I see some blossoms, and I saw some that's the Sweet 100, the little tiny, really sweet cherry tomatoes. It does have little tomatoes on it, but none ripe yet. But I have not seen any tomatoes there's blossoms, but I haven't seen any tomatoes on the bigger, the regular slicing tomato bush. I forget which one I bought, like the beefsteak type tomatoes. But now I have a problem with my things have grown so much in the last couple rainfalls. All the squash plants, and I have way too many squash things that vine. Well, everything that vines, like squash and cucumbers, not as much cucumber, squash, and, the leaves are huge. So the leaves are shading all the other stuff that I'm trying to grow. So the place where I was going to plant carrots when it gets a little cooler and my beans, it's completely covered with the leaves of these other plants. So I don't know if I can put some sort of a trellis up and connect things to a trellis to get them off of the dirt, because I still have dirt where I can plant seeds in there. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to do anything unless it stays sort of, not 90 some degrees and humid. I also got some big saucers to put under the grow bags so they maintain some wetness better. The grow bags, you have to keep watering every day because the water drains out and they dry out faster. So uh, I've seen videos on if you put like a saucer underneath it that's made for pots. Uh, these are great big, I should have brought them out here. These are great big see-through plastic saucers you put under the grow bags. So then the water will drain down. You can fill up the saucer too, and it keeps the plant dry, wetter. So they don't drain, they don't get dry as fast. Uh, oh, you also did that. Oh, good. Okay. It helps a lot. Well, good, because the ones I'm worried about are my potato plants because they're growing like crazy. In fact, I've got to get out there and start hilling some dirt up onto them because they're at least a foot high now. So I left space in the grow bag, about this much space where I can mound dirt on on them because those little sprigs that come off that bottom will grow and grow into potatoes too. So yeah, I'm kind of late doing that. I should have, but it was so hot. And I got another tick on me. That's 6 this year. I never had them on me before. This must be a horrendous year here. Or I just am the kind of person that attracts ticks. Now, my handyman said, this is nothing official, but he said he was fishing with a guy one time, and they were sitting on the shore, and it was kind of woodsy. It was a creek or something, and he was sitting next to this guy who, when they stood up, he had 8 ticks on him, and Mark, my handyman, had none. So who knows why they go on one person and not on another, but unfortunately, they seem to like me this year. But I have to tell you about my little mouse. I think I mentioned that I have hot water heat in my house, which of course isn't on right now, but I heat my house with a boiler and the water runs along the baseboard and it has, a cover, like a metal cover over the baseboard, over those pipes. But the pipes, where they come up out of the basement or wherever they're coming up out of, there's a hole. And that's how this mouse is, getting up there. But there's a million ways to get into a century home for mice and most anything. So I saw, I don't know, a couple weeks ago where at this one place, it's right behind or to the side of my recliner chair I sit in. There was like 6 acorns laying there on the floor, right by the heater, like 6 little acorns. And I thought, I didn't know if it was a mouse bringing them in or a chipmunk. Now, I've had chipmunks in the house too. So I'm watching, didn't see anything. Every once in a while I hear whatever it is though. I hear it rolling the nuts around. So I decide, well, I'm just going to put I had some shelled peanuts and I have Cheerios. So I put 2 or 3 Cheerios and a couple nuts over there by the little acorns laying on the floor. I was sitting now this is in the evening. It's very hard to see because it's dark. So mice are nocturnal. So I'm sitting there and I hear this little mouse, and like I said, I put the Cheerios and the nuts there. So I'm sort of peeking out and watching. Pretty soon, this mouse darts out. I can't even tell you how fast he got. He could have got a little Cheerio or a nut and darted back real fast. And I got interested in watching a movie. And the next time I looked, they were all gone. He'd gone one at a time and got them. So I've been doing that for the last the 3 nights, sitting there in my chair, giving this little mouse treats. But the one day it wasn't quite dark yet. It was where I could see. This mouse must have run behind me along the wall, and then all of a sudden I saw him crawling on the rocks on the fireplace. We have big boulder rocks. Well, big rocks like this size. The fireplace is made out of rocks. You've probably seen it if you've seen some of my videos. So I see him running up the fireplace and getting on the mantle, running across the mantle, down and back along the floor, behind the heater where you can't see him, and back to his space. I don't know why he did that, but I got to see him. It's just a little mouse, like this big. So now I guess we're friends. So I've been, like I said, putting these Cheerios. I guess he likes Cheerios and peanuts. I'm not sure where he's storing these up, or if he's eating them right on the spot. So, when you live by yourself, when you live alone, you have to befriend whatever you can befriend, I guess. Yeah. If your only friend is a little mouse, your cat, well, that's a danger right there. I do have a cat who has gotten mice before. So I'm really hoping that this mouse that my cat doesn't get, because that would make me sad. Even though that's her job here in the house, but I don't see her going behind the chair and over to there at all. She usually gets mice from the basement. But that's my stories for the day. I'm sure most of you think I'm nuts. That's okay. But I really will try to do the shed video. It'll be on sometime during the week. If I ever get it to go on. It's not even just doing it. It's getting it to load onto YouTube, even onto the computer. So hopefully I can get that done. Yeah. So that is it for my sales of the week. It was a little better, especially just because of one day. I had a hot Friday. So thank you all for visiting me. 3 people got crowns here. Diane, how come you're... Oh, no, Donna. Diane, all of a sudden you got a number 2 crown. Let me look at my fan base here. Okay, Riri, you moved up to number 1. It gives me a thing here if I press on this. Number 1 is Riri. I have no idea how they do this yet. I have to keep going back and reading about this. Diane, number 2. Donna, number 3. Yay. Thank you all. And I will be back for a recorded video sometime during the week, and then Thursday evening at 7. So I will see you all then. Good luck on your sales, everybody. And bye for now.